Just from today, folks, despite protests, DeKalb County proceeds with Marine School, and this is going to be a high school in partnership with the U.S. Marine Corps. Alex.
Well, already under the stuff they passed a few years ago where the recruiters are in the schools by law every hour of the day and, quote, talk to them during the recess. Mm-hmm. And it's just troops in there, and then it's come out in the news. They threaten them with jail. They say, by law, you must sign the agreement to join the Marines next month when you graduate. And the kids are being told by a guy in a uniform. Few of them are smart and record them in Houston and Denver and New York, and then they end up promoting the people that get caught doing this, lying, saying you got to join, and all over the country. I didn't see that new one in Chicago and L.A. They're turning public schools into, quote, military schools, and so they dumb everybody down, they bankrupt everybody, they get everybody on welfare, on Prozac, whatever. They want you institutionalized, they get you in debt, and now they're literally. This is like an amalgamation of Lenin, Stalin, Hitler, and Mao. I mean, this is it's so over the top. I mean, it's so, I keep saying it, I cannot describe how bad this is. I cannot describe how un-American this is.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Read, folks, that article.
Yeah, let me just read them a little section out of it. The DeKalb Marine Corps Institute will be the first of its kind in Georgia and joins an expanding network of such schools nationwide. The first public military academy opened in Richmond, Virginia in 1980, and more than a dozen now exist in places from New York to Wisconsin. But I'm going
to now when they CPS a kid, they just put him into the military academy, Universal Soldier, that movie with Kurt Russell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what this is. Mm-hmm. I mean, this country's screwed, man. I mean, look, they shipped the drugs in. They paid people not to have their husbands in the house in the communities. They broke down the society. The country now has 50% illegitimacy, and the state is their mommy and their daddy. I mean, they are really doing it, Jason.
No, they really are. And, outside of all these bailouts, now Geithner and Bernanke, the U.S. Treasury head and the head of the Federal Reserve are now saying that they want the power to dissolve agencies like AIG just to take them down. Like totally nationalizing them. We've already seen a nationalization.
But it's not really that. It's the private Federal Reserve with U.S. money is just taking them over.
Yeah, it's really.
And then Congress says, where's the trillions? And they say, we're not going to tell you. So, folks, this is just as bad as tyranny gets. Total looting, total robbery. And even I hope it's not as bad as I analyzed. I hope it's not as bad as we think. And it's worse. I mean, that's the thing is you're like, my God, these people are for real.
They're absolutely for real, and we just got done watching that Obama speech that was on television. He got called out by one of the reporters about this, China talking about doubt in the dollar as the world reserve currency and the creation of a global super currency. And he tried to avoid the global super currency. The guy had to ask the question at the very end, and he's like, oh, well, we're working with world leaders and the G20's coming up.
They won't say what officially they want, but in all their own press releases, they say new world currency.
Yeah, well, for example, the IMF
it's already issuing a super currency.
Yeah, the quantitative easing. They don't tell you. What's not really discussed about in that article is that the people that are talking about this global currency are members of the U.S. Treasury Department, but they're just not named. It literally says officials from the U.S. Treasury Department are asking the IMF to print a
Do me a favor,
currency.
leave that for me on the show tomorrow from 11 to 3. Bermas, I'm going to let you do your own show. I'm pretty exhausted. Been up here all day and did a lot of interviews, but I appreciate you. And folks, we got to just persevere and fight through this. I mean, it's bad, but because it is so over the top bad, it should be pretty easy to expose this and fight it. Go out, speak to your city councils, get everybody aware, your state legislatures more than ever. Tell the public schools your kids aren't going to do community service for the federal, because this is a federal curriculum.
Yeah.
And,
this is forced servitude for your children, in case you're not listening.
No, they're turning all the schools into military academies.
Middle school. We're talking about your 12-year-old.
Listen, I have the Philadelphia Daily News in 2002 said a division of AmeriCorps, Secure Corps, they trained the high school juniors and seniors with M16s and how to go door to door and run fugitive apprehension. I mean, they're literally training. They're going to train the kids to go after us. Imagine they're dumb, they're ignorant, they're young, they got machine guns,
they're cocky,
and then meanwhile we got MIAC reports, and it comes out that the Army was watching us up in Dallas in their own documents.
The Fed protest.
The Fed protest. I mean, it's just Twilight Zone, man. The government is run by criminals. Criminals have hijacked the country. What are we going to do about it? Well, they know we're waking up to their tyranny, so they're moving with military force to try to physically come in and block the American people from ever taking our government back and bringing these globalists to justice. But that's basically it, Jason. You're doing a fabulous job. And the Obama deception, folks, get it on DVD. It exposes who this guy really is. It kills his cult of personality. You please get the Obama deception at InfoWars.com.
It's the hottest viral video out right now. We'll be back after this. It's the Info Warrior with Jason Bermas.
Streets on fire. The mob goes wild, wild, wild. Streets on fire. The mob goes wild. 21 guns, box made of pine. Letter from the government, sealed and signed, delivered Federal Express on your mother's doorsteps.
All right, folks, we are back. It's the Info Warrior with Jason Bermas. You know, I didn't even know this about the bill. It's something I was kind of reading in passing while the guys threw it up on the screen. This bill is also going to make September 11th a designated day of service and remembrance. So this will be a day when the Youth Corps are out in full force. Do you understand? So when a guy like me gets together with thousands of other guys like me down at Ground Zero, we might just be dwarfed by the thousands of people in some compulsory service outfit, some Youth Corps Stasi outfit. And they're going to be, we're the real patriots. I mean, give me a break. You know, for them to put that into the bill too, disgusting. Let me read something, an excerpt off of BarackObama.com/issues/service. If you think we're making this up, folks, we're not. Obama and Biden will set a goal that all middle and high school students do 50 hours of community service each year. And we'll establish a new tax credit that is worth $4,000 a year in exchange for 100 hours of public service. Wow. Thanks so much, huh? See, it's all about a tax credit. They're trying to help you. And for the average person, you know, that's a $40 an hour gig. You know, $4,000's not, you know, chicken scratch. It's not chump change. It's a little bit of cashola. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are going to fall for it on that face. So if you're not 18 to 25 and you still want to get involved with this compulsory service deal to save a little buco bucks, people are going to do it. I mean, that's the bottom line, folks. People are blinded. I mean, I had to listen to Obama say that the dollar was strong today when he was asked about China not having any confidence in the currency. And he starts talking about the G20 and how he just met with Australia's Kevin Rudd, and, you know, he met with, Gordon Brown, and, you know, the guy then asks him, there's Gordon. The guy then asks him, well, what about the global currency part of it, Mr. Obama? And Barack's like, oh, I don't think there's a need for a global currency. Let's move on. I mean, literally that quick. I don't think there's a need for a global currency. So they're not going to, you know, again, he says one thing and does the complete opposite. So don't be shocked when 18 months down the line they admit that they printed some global currency in secret. Because it'll eventually be admitted that it's completely printed up and it's all about a global government. But until people, you know, demand the truth, demand the answers, they will still, you know, hide in the darkness. That's the bottom line, folks. We're going to take calls starting in the next segment. It is 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. At the top of the next hour, I'm going to have Robert Wannick, one of the youngsters for 9/11 Truth, and really not that young. He's in high school, but, you know, I wish I had as much fervor as he does now when I was his age. Maybe I could have got some things done before 9/11, woken myself up. But he's done some very, very amazing things. We're going to cover a few stories, including that principal that slammed the kid a couple times. We played that video last week on the Info Warrior. Let's blitz through a little bit more of this news because I got a stack of it in front of me. This is an example right here of how we can change things. Out of Jackson, Mississippi, stops enforcement with red light cameras. Now, they put in all these red light cameras. If you run the camera, all of a sudden you get a ticket. People wised up and made it illegal. They said, no, this is an invasion of privacy. We're taking it out. We're taking it down to Chinatown. We don't want them here anymore. So I believe as of October 1st, all of these cameras have to be gone. And a lot of people challenged the tickets, but of course the guy in Jackson, Mississippi is like, now people will lose their lives because we're bowing down to populist politics. The truth of the matter is that through these cameras, they brought in $53,000 in fines. So he's more worried about the $53,000 than he is about the lives, folks. I can guarantee you that. That's what that's about. Now, what was I talking about with, where was it? With this China talking about, a new world reserve currency. Well, Raw Story did this report, and this is a bunch of stuff that, both Alex Jones and I have been covering the last 2 or 3 weeks. And basically, the governor of the People's Bank of China, I can't pronounce his name, argued that what he called a super sovereign reserve currency would not only eliminate the risks of inherent in currencies such as the dollar, which are backed by only one credit of issuing country and not by gold or silver, but would also make it possible to manage global liquidity. It's about a global government. It's about a global currency. Okay, don't you get it? It's everywhere. These are linked to Reuters articles and the Times Online. I mean, this isn't alternative media. This is mainstream press.